Yesterday I told you that I'd be posting a video about a house for sale. Well, this is not that house. That house sold for less than $20,000, and I'd like to get some of the details, add them to the video, and then go ahead and post it. In the meantime, I could use your help, a little bit of advice. The project we have in front of us today is taking down all this siding. That's not happening right now. I'm actually reaching out to you for advice on that. I have called the manufacturer and they said you put the foam board on with the letters facing out, a foil face facing in. This is the foil face product that I want to wrap the whole house with. It's funny, no sooner did I start recording did the wind start picking up. Wouldn't be the same without the wind. So condensation would form behind the panel and above the bare skin. If you can, take a look at the video that I came up with, but keep in mind that my plans in the video are probably going to change, especially if you all put something in the comments that could better explain how I should do this. Here's where I'd like your help. Figure things out for me. This is a 1964 built house. Had aluminum siding over what I call bearskin. And if you look, the bearskin has no tape or anything like that. This is attic space, so that's generally not vented. Well, this thing is a beast to heat. So I'm going to add an inch of foam insulation here, and I plan to tape all the joints of that insulation. I'm going to be removing all the siding, seeing how some of it has begun to remove itself. And my thinking is the foil faced insulation will be taped at the joints, and then the aluminum siding will be applied right back on top of the foil face insulation. The question is, the foil face is a radiant barrier. Should there be any kind of shimming, should there be any kind of airspace between the foil surface and the back of the aluminum siding? I was thinking, you know, like a 3/4 inch furring strip. I'd prefer maybe like a 1/2 inch strip, so I could make a wide piece of plywood. That'll help pinch the foam to the framing of the house, and it'll also give me a good spot to nail in the siding too. And by the way, I'm going to take the opportunity to enlarge this window. It's not a bearing wall, this is a truss house, so from the outside here it's easy enough to cut the opening larger, add framing, and hardly disturb the interior whatsoever. I give myself a larger window, and then on this one here, probably in the future it'll be a doorway. This roof here will be cut away, it'll go down, and then the floor will come across, and this area here will just all be an exterior deck of sorts, leaving the original gable in place. I've done stuff like that in the cities, where on the top of a row house you build where what used to be a roof, you build like a we call them balconies, but it's a floor level. So here's the product. Look at the condensation and the water that collects on it. That's my concern, because we're putting a vapor barrier on the outside of the house. This is mid-Atlantic, so I believe that's where it belongs. Now the foil is going to face out. This would face inside, up against the bearskin. My initial thinking is foam board directly onto the bearskin and then taped. No house wrap being used, either on the inside or the outside. The question is, should we put 1/2 inch furring strips before putting the siding on? It seems like that would create the space needed for a radiant barrier to work. I don't know. And this is 1-inch material, and the R value, all these that I brought up, I have a stacks of this stuff. They printed poorly, so I don't know what the R value is on the 1-inch board. But there's 1/2 inch, 5/8, and 3/4. So again, the plan is the entire house will get the siding taken down, foam panels put up, and then the same siding put back up. I want to thank everyone for watching and for commenting. If you see this video a few years from now, please comment, because whatever benefits I can get out of this, I can put it on other people's homes, and it's going to save them a lot of energy costs. And then this could be a clue for us. System R value with 3/4 inch vertical airspace. So are they saying go ahead and put a 3/4 inch spacer underneath the foam? I've got the room. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for comments, and be patient. This is going to be a one-man show. It's going to take me a while. Please be patient. That's what I meant to say. The two different versions of this idea have been the manufacturer's suggestion of putting the foil facing in. Okay, so the foil face is right up against what I'm calling the bearskin, the subsiding. If there's no air gap there, water shouldn't condensate. I'm a little concerned about that, because if you've built walls, you know that sometimes they're wavy. Technically, air could be in there, water could be in that air, and it could be forming droplets. You know what else is funny? Anytime you're ever videotaping, there's somebody walking a dog having this loud conversation into like a Bluetooth speaker. And it's not so much that their noise or the noise of a car passing or an airplane or even the wind. It's that they say something like, and then while I was standing there, she just blurted out blah blah blah, and that throws me. I always get distracted. So my idea was to put the foil facing out and to tape it. That way you'd have the vapor barrier on the outside and you'd have a radiant barrier, and then I could put a shim or furring strip and put the siding on top of that. The manufacturer, who also produces a house wrap, is saying you don't need to tape these panels. What they do is they apply the panels and then put a house wrap over top. That leaves me completely baffled. Earlier in the video I said that the attic area isn't usually vented. What I mean to say is they're supposed to be vented, but in the 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s, they just weren't offering enough ventilation in most attics. Houses survived, but technically we want to vent them more. I just want to say thanks. I'll be back with that video about the house for sale, and hopefully someone can tell me how to do this, because I'd like to get started on this. I'm going to work on this project in my spare time. There's no hurry other than, well, remember what winter looks like? Yeah, winter can be kind of cold. If I could do at least a couple of these walls. Thanks everyone. I'll be back tomorrow.